is there anything we should be doing about this problem? Or is there anything we can possibly do about this problem? That's the question people want the answer to. Let's talk about it. So I'm sitting here looking at this the Washington Post article for today, and the headline reads, U.S. marks Memorial Day weekend with at least 11 mass shootings. It says since Uvalde, Texas, elementary school tragedy, there has been at least 14 other shootings that had at least 4 victims. And I'll leave the link to this article in the description. It says, after a shooting at an elementary school in Uvalde, Texas that claimed the lives of 19 children and 2 teachers last week, many politicians, public figures, and gun control advocates said the U.S. government should ensure mass shootings could not happen again. But mass shootings have already happened again and again. At least 14 mass shootings have taken place across the United States since Tuesday, from California to Arizona to Tennessee. This Memorial Day weekend alone, spanning Saturday, Sunday, and the federal holiday on Monday, there have been at least 11 mass shootings. These incidents, gleaned from local news reports and police statements, meet the threshold for mass shootings as defined by the Gun Violence Archive, a nonprofit research organization. Okay? GVA, Gun Violence Archive, defines a mass shooting as one in which, quote, 4 or more people are shot or killed, not including the shooter, unquote. Several of those shootings occurred at parties and one at a Memorial Day event. At least 7 people have been killed and 49 injured in the mass shootings over the holiday weekend, according to GVA and local news sources. Since the Uvalde shooting last Tuesday, at least 10 people have been killed and 61 were injured in mass shootings. Brian Stetler, a chief media correspondent and news anchor at, of course, CNN, interrupted a broadcast Sunday about the response to the mass shooting in Uvalde to tell viewers about another in Tennessee. Quote, mass killings like Buffalo and Uvalde became national news, but many mass shootings do not. They just end up being local stories, unquote. Stelter said, my bad. Stelter, yeah. In a clip that has been viewed over 334,000 times on Twitter. See, here's the thing. And you don't like people losing their lives. You know, we always want gun safety. You know, once again, I do believe that bad people hurt people. Good people don't hurt people intentionally. Bad people hurt people intentionally. And that's what you're dealing with here. You're dealing with the case of bad people. I mean, there could be some other things involved too, but definitely a case of bad people. I do believe there's more behind the story. I do believe there's something else amiss here, to be honest with you, that's not getting reported. And of course, if you tune in to Tirade TV, you'll definitely, you know, I get into further detail on a lot of things that I really don't say here, but everyone wants, you know, gun control, end the gun violence, which, yes, we definitely should have that. We absolutely should. But here's the thing. They've never really defined what they call gun control. Is gun control taking, you know, boomsticks and freedom seeds away from people? What is it? Looking at all this that's happened or transpired within the past week or so, honestly, it does not make me want to do away with boomsticks and freedom seeds. It actually makes me want to acquire more, to be completely honest with you. Because it's been said many times, bad people or the true criminals, do not care about laws. They don't care about laws. They don't care about them. Think about this. In each one of those events, do you think the person, the suspect or suspects, was sitting there thinking about, which law am I violating? Which law am I breaking? You know what? Maybe I should stop because this law, says this, or this, my act here could lead to another potential law being created. Do you think they're thinking about that? No. All they're thinking about is inflicting harm on someone else. That's all they're thinking about. So regardless of what law is in place right now, or what law could potentially be, enacted, bad people, people with criminal minds, people who want to inflict harm on others, do not care. They don't care. So we can sit here and go back and forth all we want about, yes, this should be stopped, or we should do this to stop it. We should do that to stop it. We should take this out of the hands of people, all of that. Meanwhile, you have criminals sitting out there right now that want to hurt and harm people, that want to take people's lives. They're sitting here laughing at this because they don't care. As a matter of fact, the more so-called control you have over certain situations with certain laws, it's almost like the more freedom you're giving the criminals to do what they need to do. That's just my opinion on that, though. What else does this story say? On Saturday evening, 6 teenagers were injured by gunfire in Chattanooga, Tennessee, in what Mayor Tim Kelly said was probably, quote, an altercation between other teenagers, unquote. The victims, who were between the ages of 13 and 15, were transported to a hospital, and 2 had life-threatening injuries, according to Chattanooga Police Department. Kelly said he was, quote, unquote, heartbroken for the families of the victims and, quote, unquote, angry about political inaction on gun laws during a news conference following the shooting. And that's my thing. They keep talking about these laws. What are you trying to do? Like, at this point, I don't know if there's anything that can be done, legislatively or not. I don't think there's anything that can be done to stop bad people from wanting to inflict harm on other people and take other people's lives. That's not a legislative thing. That is a human thing. That is a personal thing. And I don't understand why people, well, you know what? They know. Like our so-called leadership, they know. But there's a reason why they want to punish law-abiding citizens. And they will do anything and everything to get their point across. For lack of better words, get their point across. And to get the things that they want. I mean, they would do anything and everything. It's a shame because I think life does not mean a whole lot at this point. Not only to those criminals who are out there doing evil things, but also life does not mean a whole lot right now to most, if not all, politicians, our leadership. Let's be honest. It means very little. Laws mean a lot, getting promoted or getting set up and put in positions of power means a lot to them. Nothing else means a lot. That's where we're at right now. And it's a shame because you take the United States, which even with all this going on, is still the greatest country in the world, because no matter how many people complain about things, they wouldn't want to go live anywhere else. I see a tweet here from a Steve Keenley at Fox 29. This is back on, well, actually it was at this morning at 3:48 a.m. It says breaking 16-year-old and 21-year-old female shot dead. Girl 14 wounded in shoulder. Man 21 wounded in second double homicide scene in 2 hours, 1 a.m. At Philly police report in Port Richmond on Tioga Street, multiple shooters fired at least 47 bullets into crowded party. Yeah, that's we know what they're trying to do here. We know what they're trying to do here. Let's be honest. But the way I think, you're not giving me a reason to want to do that. You're not giving me a reason to do away with certain securities. You're giving me a reason to actually go add to the collection. You know what I mean? What do you all think? I mean, do you really know what they're doing right now, what they're trying to do here? Do you really think that taking away from the collection helps, or adding more to the collection helps? What do you all think? What are you all doing to make sure you're keeping your family and your property safe at this point in time? What are you doing? Because if you're depending on leadership to help, that's not going to happen. If you're depending on police to help, unfortunately, police have always been, law enforcement have always been undermanned and outnumbered. And I would assume that the average response time to a call, a 911 call, is probably about 3 minutes. Do you know how many lives could be taken in a matter of 3 minutes before law enforcement is able to arrive? And it's not law enforcement's fault that they can only arrive at in a certain amount of minutes, because, like I said, they're outmanned and outnumbered. So who do you depend on to protect your household? Who are you supposed to depend on? Answer that question. And here's the thing. If they're saying depend on police, law enforcement, well, according to media, law enforcement didn't get the job done down in Uvalde, Texas. So once again, who are you going to depend on? Depend on God. I believe in God. I believe he's going to protect me. At the same time, I have to put, actions behind my faith. Faith without works is dead. Yeah, that's a good question. I think we all need to be asking ourselves that. Who and what do we depend on for protection? Anyways, tell me what you all think. Please like, share, subscribe, comment. Please check out Tirade TV. I'll leave the link in the description. And as always, get ready, stay ready. God bless.